Good evening. Welcome all to Insane Asylum Podcast. Tonight we're back with Chris Garcia. Um, nice guy out of Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he's a psychic. So this is the second time we get to talk to you, right? We already interviewed
Yep.
you once before.
It's been it's been a long time, dude. I don't even fuck. I can't remember. I mean,
Oh,
but
you
it's good
got
that you.
out of that funk.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I was just telling Joe that keeping your spirits up and going through because I had asked him how he deals with
Yeah, man.
things and stuff like that. But yeah, I see it as, you learn and you just start like, where you help people and then you just realize that not everyone is there to support you. So that's just part of learning and that's just the only thing. So, but other than
Well,
that,
it's not always just immediate family, blood family. That if they don't want to be there to support you, big deal. You make friends, and a lot of times your friends are going to wind up being your family.
yeah,
You know, Joe
that
and I
that
have
is
been
that
friends
is
for over 20 years, and I think we're more like brothers.
It was 2 years ago.
yeah. And you've grown guys together like, and it's funny how you said that, Margaret.
I'm sorry
It's
it's been
been,
that long.
dude, it's been like a long time. But it's all good
So
though
how
because
you been
I
doing,
like you
Chris?
guys.
What have you been up to, man?
Just guiding people, still doing readings behind the scenes, doing cases here and there, but a lot of that stuff, a lot of people don't see the justice behind. Um, for me doing stuff, a lot of people see more behind the scenes like messenger and this and that, but there's just cases I'm doing here and there and then doing like mentoring, teaching and stuff like that. But it's just been just busy. But along the way, like I was telling Joe, there's a lot of people that are. It's been just problems, and I'm just starting to see like who are really my friends and who are just acquaintances. Joe, the way Joe says it, because you come across that in this business too. You come across people that are there to support you,
Hmm.
and then like later on they end up turning against you, and that's the thing. I don't get it. Why do they do that? Why can't they just be straightforward and say, you know what? But everybody has an agenda. And to be honest with me, doing this kind of work, I think that's why people keep a distance from me, like especially like the women and stuff within my personal life. But I'm learning as I go along, and of course I make mistakes and I correct things if I'm wrong. I correct it, and that's just in everyday life. So yeah.
Well, I look at it this way: you're human, man. You're never going to be 100%.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
always gonna
And
have that learning curve in life, and you're always gonna have mistakes that are made that have to be corrected. You're always gonna have somebody thinking that they're better than you, and you just keep going, keep plugging, keep moving. Um,
yeah,
I
sorry.
had I actually haven't told Joe this yet, but I got some bad news yesterday morning. It was really upsetting news. Um, when I was manager of the facility, we had
Mm-hmm.
a man that would come in every Monday or Tuesday who would check our traps and make sure our pest supplies was taken care of and everything.
Okay.
Um, well, I got an email that he had wound up passing away on the 16th.
Oh wow, I'm
And
sorry
he was
about
only
that to
21
hear.
years old, and I actually forged a pretty good friendship with him because he'd come in and talk with me and you after he did his rounds, he'd come in, chit chat for about 10 minutes or so, and ask my opinion on some computers and stuff like that because he was building his own computer and different things like that. unfortunately, that's part of life, and
Yeah, yeah,
so
and that's and it's just and it's just crazy like that. You know how you yeah, and as you progress, you start noticing who your true friends are, and and of course, there's just a lot of people that are going like quick. There's a lot of people that are dying, and even the animals. Because when you lose an animal, that's like part of family too. So it's kind of
oh
it's
yeah, when
very
you have animals and close to them and everything, yeah, and they're a part of your family.
and
And
that's
plain and
something
simple,
that.
they are a part of your family.
Oh, and
You
I was gonna
know,
say, guys, welcome to my friends Joe and Mark, because I've known them for a long guys. So hi, Lisa, I see you watching. Um, but the thing is, what we were talking about in the background is that we were talking about mushrooms, and you know how when you
oh
get
yeah,
that once in a while,
you want to go into
we
mushrooms
were
again?
talking about,
Get the book.
yeah, and a lot of them you can do like a lot of healing, but like it's like mugwort, like you were saying when in the backstage, that mugwort is good, but to a certain point, it's like it's poet, and you just gotta be very
Yes.
careful. So a lot of stuff that we were talking behind, the before the show started, it was just blowing my mind.
Yep. Mugwort is actually one of the mushrooms uh, that was used or that is used to open the mind. It kind of, but you do have to be careful with using mugwort
Hmm.
because of the fact that in higher doses it is poisonous and dangerous.
That's true. That is correct,
But
and
it
and
is,
that and that is
but it is
and that is
a
correct.
Man,
it
I
is a good
forgot.
fungus that can actually help with opening the mind up.
Yeah, and that is dangerous, and that's what was so crazy. And I was gonna ask you, Mark, when you got those books, did you just get them today?
What's that?
Did those books that you got today? Did you just get them today? The books?
Yep. I just
Oh,
it's kind of funny. I'm sure everybody knows about Five Below,
uh huh.
the store Five Below.
Yeah, we have Five Below up here.
That's where I got this. That's where I found this at Five Below. And then
Wow.
another book called Crystals. It tells you about the different crystals.
Yeah, well, if you
Five
would have
Below.
got talking about mushrooms, people would have been thinking we were having a show on drugs.
I
Well, why
know,
not?
but
These
that.
Drugs
shrooms,
is good.
man.
Yeah. I like going
Oh
in
my
there
God.
occasionally.
Sorry.
I find some good stuff these books and stuff like this at Five Below. And you know, normal price on this dang thing is like $18. This particular book has on the barcode $18 for it. I got it for $5 at Five Below.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, it's been just a very interesting year. Like I was telling you about the eclipse, I just felt like everything was just weird, and I feel like even though I didn't know we were in the system, but I had talked to a friend of mine, and I didn't even know because I don't pay attention to all that. I used to be in astrology, which astrology is big time. I didn't know that we were still in retrograde. Mercury retrograde, not we're going to be like that until I think January or February. And I was thinking, no wonder everything's going down because it's just. And I remember somebody had asked me if I feel the difference in Mercury retrograde. I really don't see it like psychically within my third eyes and all my senses. But one thing I've noticed is that it does affect my emotions. Oh my God, don't you just know? It's just it affects my emotions to no end. One thing I've noticed that since this coming year, my emotions is like for no reason, dude. I cry for no reason at all, and I'm thinking I'm already empathic, so I'm like a sponge and just
That's part of
absorbing
being
all
an
these things.
empath, Chris. That's
Dude,
part of being
it's not
empathic.
it's
But sometimes
and I
you
have
will pick
very
sometimes you'll pick up on emotions that are around you, and they will
yes.
amplify how you feel, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, exactly. And like my friend Art and Becky and Lisa, they've been very supportive. Um, but there's just been a lot of talks where everybody's been checking up on me, and I appreciate that because it keeps me motivated. And and then that's one thing I noticed too, Mark, was that I think it was back in September, August, even August, September, October. I wasn't dreaming at all, dude. I mean, nothing. And I thought, oh
You
my god, I'm losing my touch. I'm
really?
losing my touch. Yeah, I
That's
wasn't
kind of
dreaming
strange.
it. I guess I know it was weird. Now that like November passed and stuff, now we're in December. Get this, for all those like for about a week or so, I didn't dream, right? So now I'm getting all these weird dreams now. Since it's been since like I guess since the 10th, dude. It's been just weird. And then I'm like, and in my head when I woke up from all these dreams, it was like in my head they were like, did you miss this part of your gift? Did you forget what it feels like to see this kind of stuff? And you should see the reactions on my face when I woke up. I was like, oh my god, this is like 5G stuff to where it doesn't feel like a vision anymore. It feels like I'm in in the dream. To me, I don't know about you guys, but the dreams I have, it's nothing. It almost reminds me of the Matrix. Do y'all remember the movie The Matrix?
Yep.
That's what it feels like. It's like everything is like you could touch it. And I was just like, oh my god, dude, it's yeah, the empathic
Lucid,
mark, dude.
lucid and vivid dreams.
Yeah, I have dreams like those, but I'm usually talking to
Hmm.
dead people.
I have dreams like
Yeah,
those as well.
I'm sitting
They
there
feel
talking
they
to like my mother or
yep.
my grandpa
They
or
feel so
somebody
real.
that passed away, and it just seems so real. You could smell the smells, like if they wore
Yep.
perfumes or cologne, that smell would be in the air.
yeah.
They were like so real.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, I was gonna ask you, do y'all seem like feel any different from all the years previous? Did the vision seem more intense, or does it seem the same to y'all? Because to me, as being intuitive, I don't see it the same. I don't even know if it's a 5G thing or if it's something that we're not aware of. It's the
I'm not.
airways. I mean,
I'm not
I
certain. I'm not certain if it's a 5G. You know. Yeah, that's kind of something that will mess with your head, but I'm not certain if it's actually something that would you know
yeah,
affect you that much. Um,
but
I think what it is, Chris, is the world's going through an awakening. We are changing. The entire planet is changing. Um, thanks to a certain somebody, attitudes in the United States have changed. People are feeling more emboldened to go do stupid activities. Um, people are actually opening up more to their surroundings. They're paying more attention to what's going on in the world.
mm-mm.
And once the awakening is in full bore, you're going to see a lot of changes, a lot of things happening that you wouldn't have thought would be able to be
yeah,
changed.
yeah, yeah, and that is true because I think with everything, you know how like back in the days you were able to do all this stuff, and you're right. I think a lot of people that I think the population I want to say that more people shop online because due to all these crimes, I mean, it's not even safe to go anywhere. I just like I'm a shopper online,
You know,
so
yeah, I get a little. You see all these things happening, and the old guy goes in the store and opens fire, or goes into school and opens fire, or wherever. It's always a public place, right? You know, every time I see that, and somebody's talking about getting me to go out to the store with them or something, I get little panic attacks or things like that because I really don't want to go because it's just my luck I'd be one to get shot. You know, that's what
No,
I'm.
you're too ugly. They don't want to shoot you.
Oh, fuck off.
All right, hey,
You know,
Amanda,
somebody beats you with an ugly stick as a child. You know that?
Amanda over here is asking a question. She's asking you, do you do any grounding or meditation to center yourself?
Yes, I do, but sometimes it feels like it's, yeah, there is a lot of grounding that I do. I've been doing it more, and I ain't gonna lie, Amanda, I was slacking off on that, and I admit it, and there's no one ever's gonna do that unless they can admit, and that's one thing about people, they don't like to admit their faults. Me, if I do something wrong, yeah, I fix it if I can. But with the grounding, yes, I had been slacking off on that, but I think it's more of working on myself and having more time for myself, and now I'm starting to do more of that, which is one thing I'm going to tell you, it's crazy. Yes, I know I'm on the show today, but as far as like Messenger and social media, you barely see me now, and I feel like,
Well,
to me, it's like toxic in a way because I just don't want to hear the drama, so I just avoid it. And I'm doing it like what Joe said. I'm being very limited with people that I talk to, and I've noticed my circle has even gotten smaller due to everything that I'm going through behind the scenes. And I'm being more selective of what to say and what not to say.
yeah, my circle got pretty small over the years, you know, and there's a reason for that, like you said earlier, when we were talking, it's hard to trust people. They're going to
It
burn
is.
you, stab you in the back. It's just a matter of time, you know, and I guess I've been lucky. I got one close friend and he's sitting, over there, but he's Mark. Other than that, everybody else are pretty much acquaintances, and I keep them at a distance, because
I'm gonna ask you.
it's hard when I had a best friend ever since high school, and he broke the bro code on me. He
Wow.
made moves on my girlfriend, and then and then years later, he ended up trying to make moves on my wife.
Huh, what a best
I
friend,
see
dude.
that guy
That,
now. If I ever see that guy now, I probably need bail money. You know,
wow.
No, you'd be
And
the bigger man and walk away.
no,
I'm gonna ask you.
my
I
temper
got,
might get the best of me on that one.
I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
And this is I'm gonna give you what my perspective is. You're right with that, Joe. That most people are there to help you, but I'm gonna ask you the biggest question. This is more like, I don't know if it's scientific or it's just in general. You know how I said everybody's your friend, right? You know how you and Mark are friends, but outside that circle, this is something that I'm thinking I need to know from you guys, since you've been longer in the field, like me, but y'all see a lot more things. So the question I have for you guys is, how much percentage, how many percentage of the people are actually your friend? Can you give me a number on that? Like, how many people are actually your true friend? And then how much percentage are not your friend, but they're just there to, however you want to call it.
That's my
Do
only true
you, do
friend
you,
sitting right there.
so what is the percentage that
Everybody
you think
else,
you have?
everybody else is pretty much an acquaintance.
Yeah.
I'll put some trust in them, but as soon as that trust is broke, it's done.
Yeah.
You only
Right.
get see. I may be petty by saying this, but me, you get one chance. You get one chance. You
I
cross
guess
me,
I'm a little bit nicer of a guy. I'll give you a couple chances,
you
but
cross me, and you realize you crossed me, but you never apologize to me. That's it.
Yeah,
It,
that's
it,
and
it
that's the
it
thing. So
won't
like,
it won't be the same after that.
and
yeah,
see,
and it's
I
right.
guess I wouldn't say I got a whole lot of. I don't have too many friends, as I'd say. Is more of I got like I trust and hang around family, and then Mark has been around me so long that my mom used to introduce him. Oh, this is my other son. So he's more like family than a friend. It's
No,
true though.
seriously.
Wow.
At cookouts and stuff, you know, he when he like first met my Aunt Barb or somebody that he had met before, my mom would or just pop up because she was kind of a very outgoing, nice person, funny, going, you know, and she loved Mark. She's like, "Oh, this is my other son, Mark." You
And
know,
that's good because he's like a friend that you've known for years. And when you find that type of friends, it's hard to find any
Well,
true friend. I think to me, I want to say random. I want to say maybe 82 people percentage of people can be honest. I can't say 100% people because I've been there and I've even been around like people that I thought I could trust, and I hear through the grapevine, oh, I wouldn't trust that person because blah 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 because they did this and they did that. So
well,
later on, I just like, but that's my perspective. I don't know
yeah.
about y'all. I want to
I'll
say
tell,
82%.
I'll add to what I was also saying there, Chris. Joe, I consider Joe more family than my own family because I only have one person in my well. Let me rephrase that. I have two people in my family, my blood family, that I would converse with and put some trust in. And one of those people is my sister, the younger of the two sisters. She lives in Arizona, and the other person is my niece who lives in Florida.
yeah, we haven't seen her in a while.
Everybody else in my family, I wouldn't trust as far as I could throw them.
Now, your
That's
niece used to watch
including
us quite
that's
often back
including
in
my
the day.
brothers. That's including my surviving brothers and my oldest sister, and then their
Wow.
kids. Because I am considered, I feel that I am considered the black sheep of my family
Oh, I know I am.
because of the fact that I don't believe the same thing they believe, and I have issues with the way they act and the way they do things.
You know, it's funny you say that because when you grow up, like with me, I don't know if I'm considered the black sheep of the family. I don't see myself like that. But you know how everybody's raised with a religion and they have different beliefs. Like I do have a
Hmm.
good support system within the family, but there's others that I feel like, yeah, they'll say hi, blah, and they'll tolerate me because they don't believe in this in that spiritual realm and they don't believe in supernatural stuff or whatever the case may be.
Well, I guess I'm
But I
lucky in
think,
that aspect because my brother does believe in that stuff.
but
Yeah.
but outside of that, that I think when they kind of like close themselves out.
You know?
But then when it comes to like more of supernatural stuff, then that's when they open their mind and then I change their perspective on things. And then they're like, well, you know what? I knew what you did, but I wasn't really supportive. But now you make me a believer. And there's times where I feel that in family, that there's some family that just stay away from it because they think it's devil worshipping and this and that. But once they know the more of the lighter side, the medium, the psychic side, it's a God given gift, so they shouldn't judge. But that's a whole other thing. Like you said, the way you grew up is they don't understand you, and that's the thing, Mark. Is that it's sad. They should be some more supportive, and
Well,
the
they
way
should.
you, but they're not.
Nope.
That's why you don't see eye to eye with them,
Well,
and you would think that being family, they would support you in everything you do,
it
but you
doesn't
kind of
always
get
work that way
No, it doesn't.
yeah.
Here, I'm going to divert just a second. I noticed a question that was posed
because,
by
but I
Amanda.
always say karma is going to bite you in the ass in the long run. You know,
Okay,
bite those people in the ass in the long run. Just let me stay live
grab
long
a
enough to see it happen.
grab a
And
pen, Amanda. He asked if I have any crystals that I would recommend carrying every day. Um, Amethyst. I would recommend amethyst. I would also recommend rose quartz, and I also like bloodstone.
Oh, oh, that's good.
Those are for pretty much your everyday use. I currently have a ring that I had made that I have opal and
Hmm.
black tourmaline, both stones in it, and my necklace that I have, it's a bullet necklace, and it's lapis lazuli.
Mm, wow. But I'm glad that we talk about this because it makes me because you guys help me in a lot, and like that's why. Yeah,
I just wanted to answer Amanda's question. I noticed that there.
Yeah, I see that.
I wanted to
I
make
saw
sure.
that too, and I think for me, I think I can agree with Mark. Amethyst is real good for psychic attacks. It's also good for intuitive stuff. So if you're like wanting to help you with your gifts, it'll be good. I want to say good for grounding. You can use Tiger's Eye would be another one.
I
Bloodstone,
like
I think I've
Tiger's
heard of
Eye.
that one. Bloodstone, I don't know the properties of that one. Um, but just by the sound of Bloodstone, I don't
Hi,
know the
Janet.
properties. Maybe I have to
I get it.
ask Mark what the properties of Bloodstone are because I don't know what the properties of that are.
I don't know, but I like Tiger's Eye.
What is that?
Tiger's Eye and Blue Star
That's my
Sapphire.
ring.
Oh, that's pretty. I like it.
That's my power ring.
Oh
It's got the
wow. So what is the
opals. It's
pop?
got the opals in
What is
the
the property? What are the properties of that, Mark? So I can
this
know about Bloodstone.
helps. This the bloodstone. I'd have to actually look it up. Unfortunately, I don't recall right off.
Oh,
But
okay.
bloodstones are good for healing.
Oh, okay.
Um, Actually, for you, Chris, to kind of get you out of your funk, I would actually tell you to grab a amethyst and a bloodstone and carry it with you.
All right. I might just have to do that to get out of my funk because. But amethyst is always something I've had around me. Um, but maybe Bloodstone, I have to look it up and then because they have like stores here where they can sell little stones and maybe just cleanse it
Mhm.
and start carrying it with me, or maybe even have it as a necklace or like you have a ring, or just start carrying that kind of stuff. Because I wear like I have all my bracelets on me. I don't even know what all these are, but yeah. But
That's
I
my
always
lapis.
carry different. Is that called?
Lapis lazuli.
Oh, I've heard that one. Lee. That's a pretty color. I like that one.
Yeah,
I almost
Yes.
it's a very pretty stone.
when you held it up to the camera,
It
it kind
almost
of
looks
reminds
green.
me of turquoise.
It
I
does, but
know, right?
it's actually
But
blue.
yeah,
It's the way the light is reflecting off of it.
yes, amethyst
It's
is purple.
yes, amethyst is
Yeah.
purple.
Yes. Amethyst is purple,
But
baby, and it.
you also have with amethyst you have different hues of purple. Um you have a very light looking purple, which almost looks like a clear quartz, and then it'll actually go into an extremely dark purple.
Or deep
It just,
purple.
it just depends on what kind of vein it comes from.
I used to date somebody that loved amethyst at one time.
Thank you, Lisa. I'll
Hey,
have to get me a bloodstone.
isn't that a birthstone too?
Which one,
Yeah, she
lapis?
looked. I guess.
Amethyst.
Amethyst? I believe it is a type of birthstone.
Yeah, that goes with February.
Yes,
No,
thank
I
you, Lisa.
don't.
I knew it had something to do with healing, and I knew there was something else that went with it. But
It goes
again,
with an
I would have
Aquarius.
had to look it up. But yeah,
Oh, and that's just one thing I'm gonna touch that no one has ever brought up. You know how like we're talking about amethyst. Amethyst goes with Aquarius. People in it that have to do with the birthdays in February, but just keep this in mind. And this is something that I feel like I need to say. Just because you're not an Aquarius does not mean not to carry amethyst.
right.
See, like I'm a Virgo, so for me, I would use sapphire because that sapphire is connected to my sign. But if I'm connected to amethyst and I'm gifted, it doesn't like how can I say it's more if you use it. Don't think that just because you're not an Aquarius and it's not your birthstone that it will not work for you. It will.
Oh, I was
Hopefully
just
that makes sense. I
I
don't know why
was
I'm throwing that out
asking
there.
because I knew a woman that loved amethyst, and I think it had to do with it. It was her birthstone.
Yeah. Um, it depends on the
Hello?
person too. See, the reason I had this particular ring made, and it cost me a pretty penny. The the opal that's on here, I purchased that from an occult shop in California when I was 18, and it was a raw stone, and I had that stone for all this time.
Yes,
The
it does.
the black stone that's on there is a black tourmaline. That stone found me
Oh wow.
2016.
Maybe I should get that.
I think it was March of 2016. We went, my daughter and her husband and my grandson, because it was before my granddaughter was born, and me and my girlfriend. We rented a car and drove out to California to visit my parents. And so we were out there visiting my parents for a couple of days. And we came back. On our way back, we stayed in Vegas overnight. And that afternoon, before we left Vegas, we went over to the In-N-Out Burger. Went in, had lunch, came back out. Never noticed this little pouch on the ground when we went in. Came back out. I'm opening the car or the sliding door on the driver's side of the van, and I open it and I look down, and there's this little black pouch, about yay big,
It was full of weed.
sitting on the ground.
Wow.
And I reached down and I grabbed it. It was literally sitting next to the back tire. And I reached down and I grabbed it, and I didn't think anything of it right at the moment. And I felt that it was hard, right? So I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. I'm wondering what's in it. So we got everybody in the van, got everything situated, and I got sat down and I opened it up, and it was a black tourmaline, probably about that long. That stone found me, and it found me for a reason. Because the following year, my mom passed away,
Damn.
and because of that stone and the energies that were in it that transferred to me, and the fact that it was part of me, I feel that it helped me through the grieving process because I wasn't in California when my mom passed. I was here in Wisconsin. And I felt it helped me through that because when I got out there, when my daughter and I went out there for the funeral, I was the pillar. I was the rock. I was the one that held everything together during the funeral. Both my sisters broke down. My brothers broke down. My dad broke down. I had already, because of the help of this energy from this stone, I had already came to terms with losing my mom. I also got in an argument with my sister because I was pissed. I wanted to actually be a pallbearer, and they wouldn't let me. And my I told my sister, I said the only way I'm not going to be is if Dad says he wants me by him and not let me be a pallbearer. So I think she
Wow.
convinced me to have him tell me that. So
Now I'm gonna ask. I don't know if anybody knows what is a good stone for depression and anxiety. I don't know if any of you know what that is. I don't know if there would
my
be anybody. But would that be good with a
depression and
bloodstone too?
anxiety. Well, bloodstones are good for healing, and also protection. But amethysts are good for protection, well, healing. I wonder if this book would have anything in it.
I'm curious because I wonder. I think all the stones that we probably covered might have not everything
But
that is listed, but I think
honestly, Chris, I believe you need to get a bloodstone and an amethyst.
Yeah. You know what? When I'll get it, I'll make sure you be the first one to know. You know
Hey,
what?
so
I'm gonna,
that is stuck in my head that you need to get a bloodstone and an amethyst.
that's probably what I
And
needed because
keep them with you.
yeah, yeah. I just probably have to look for one that, like they said, finds you. You know, don't look for it; it'll find you, or somebody might give you one. Because I think
Oh,
it's
see
funny
right
how
here,
you say that.
Lisa actually says amethyst is a birthstone and is also helpful to help relieve stress, balance your mood, dispels negativity, and protects you against psychic attacks.
There you go. Validation, validation for you, Mark. Validation.
Right.
No,
But
but I'm
yeah,
glad that and I enjoy talking to both of you because you know a lot of stuff, and even though I've been in the field, but I've gone through a lot. I feel like as
oh,
we're eight,
okay.
that we go through. What is
I
it?
don't know why there would be cats back there, Allison. I'm not a cat person, I'm a dog person, but I actually I think I do know why there would be cats back there.
um,
That's
that's
funny.
crazy. I know I was like, what? Yeah, but I'm glad that we're talking about like different things because it's just, and I think with what you said, Mark, I think it would be good for investigations because I know that people are going to be asking for me, and I need to start carrying those stones with me and have them in my pocket or something because it's
Keep
like,
them with you if you can. I would also suggest if you possibly can find them in a bullet, like the crystal bullet, which is like this one stone here I showed you, like this.
or like a necklace.
You can wear it like a necklace, or you can or something. Because I had a stone, a bullet stone one time when I was younger, and I wore it constantly, and I ran it out of energy, and when I ran it out of energy, it actually broke,
Oh, that doesn't surprise me because I've had that before.
snapped in
Bracelets.
half, snapped in half.
Wow. So that means that it did its job.
Yeah, yep, it did its job.
Wow. That's kind of interesting. 'Cause I've had that done to me too with the bracelets. Like I'm like, and then I wear like different type of bracelets, and my mom said, "Yeah, mom, like
See,
it busted." And she's like,
see,
maybe it just did its job.
Lisa must know what I'm talking about here because you never find the crystal. You'll go to a store that has them. You'll go places that you can get them from, but you will not be the one that picks that crystal. That crystal will pick you. And a lot of times, the place that you would go to find it, you will be drawn there, and it's because that crystal's calling out to you. There are crystals all over this planet, and every one of them has a purpose for somebody,
Amen to
and
that. I
they will
believe.
call. They will call to you. And some people you will not realize it, but they do. They call to you.
Oh wow, she must be doing her research. For depression, she's given a whole lot of lists. You see that,
Am-
Mark?
there it is, right there,
It's a
amethyst.
whole,
It's in there.
yeah, it's all in there. Clear quartz, which I can get that.
And
Small
rose quartz
quartz,
is in there.
black tourmaline,
Aha!
moonstone.
Gotcha, Lisa. Which aventurine? Because there are different types of aventurine.
Yeah.
The black tourmaline, that's what's in my ring, and that's actually
Wow.
the black tourmaline and the and onyx or not onyx, but opal are very powerful stones for Wiccans to be able to use, because
Yeah,
not
because
every
I
Wiccan
always
can
say,
actually use them.
yeah, that's true. You know what's funny? What about a chakra necklace? Wouldn't that kind of keep the balance too? Kind of.
It depends on what the necklace is made of.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a plan. Yeah. Hi, Janet. Nice to meet you, by the way. Thank you, guys, because I do need different. I do have to find
That
your
is true.
thoughts, and
See, Janet
I
knows
will.
too.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that I always, yeah, yeah, it's just
So
amazing.
she's saying, Lisa's saying green tourmaline or green aventurine. Sorry, not tourmaline, aventurine.
Yeah, that is very interesting. But I do need to like to do a lot of different stuff,
And
and
that
it's
is
also
true.
good.
That is true too. Amanda's true. Is saying, telling you right here too. When you find your crystal, or sorry, let me rephrase that. When the crystal finds you, when your crystal that is supposed to be yours and you finds you, draws you to it, you have to cleanse it.
Yeah, because other people
You have
probably
to
touched
remove
it.
any negative. You have to remove any negative energy from it. I had a bad experience one time. I actually went in. I was in one of these stores where they had a lot of these crystals and everything, and I have a bad habit. I will go along and I'll actually touch the crystals. I don't know if it's really a bad habit, but what I'm doing is I'm touching the crystals and I'm pulling the energy from them. I'm kind of cleansing the crystals when I'm there. They got a hold of one that somebody, I don't know who it was, but I know for a fact it was a dark Wiccan because I could feel the energy in it. They put a ton of negative energy in this crystal, and I drew it out of this crystal, and it made me physically sick.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you. I mean, because if it's like a witchy store, they have all the crystals all just accessible because anybody can touch them. But you're right,
Mm-hmm.
you got to cleanse them because you don't know who touched them. The same thing applies to candles because the candles, people just looking at them like, oh, you know what, I don't want this candle, and they'll just to put their hands on it and stuff, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
everything's got to be cleansed. I mean, everything, even to necklaces, bracelets. It's just yeah, smoking cleansing is the
Smoke
best
cleansing
because
for sure.
certain can't get wet or be in sunlight. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, some crystals can't get wet or be in sunlight. So, but yeah,
There's one that can't get wet, and I
but
can't think of the name.
you can
Starts
also
with a C.
you can also draw the energy out of it yourself. But that's something that's again, someone if some mischievous little jack out there goes and plays with these crystals as like happened with me, they can put tons of negative energy in the damn thing and it'll mess you up. And it messed me
Hmm.
up for a little while. I actually got physically ill from it.
Wow, that is
Yep,
amazing when you.
cleanse and charge. Um,
And I think it's good to have them on a full moon too to clear your crystals. To clear it on a full moon because it's like it gets rid of the negative energy. It's like absorbing
mhm.
and the moon energy, and it's good to get some moon water. To put it out there and just let the moon absorb it, and then you can use it. And you're right, there's some crystals that cannot get wet; they'll just fall apart. But you got to do your research, and that I am aware of. There's some stones that just will, you're just like, yeah. So, no, that's true.
It was a touristy place, but had amazing
Oh
crystals.
wow! So she said there was so much energy that she couldn't breathe and walk out.
I've
Speaking of
I've
that, oh my
actually
god!
kind of had that happen.
Wow! I remember one
Well,
time I don't know, my friend Art was watching. He
mhm,
probably is, but I had gone to go see my uncle play, and I didn't have no stones, and that was my fault. We had gone to this bar, I've been there 3 times because he plays a band. He's part of a band. So get this, dude. I go in, we were in the park, and it was during the cold. It wasn't cold. It was gonna be cold later that day. We backed up. I didn't feel anything, and we had gone to McDonald's because the food there was just too expensive. So we backed up, walked in the driveway. I was fine. Right when I passed the part of the building, and then there's like a gate door. Get this, Mark. I walk in, dude. All this energy just started kind of making me feel like sick, dude.
Reached over and slapped you.
It, yeah, yeah. It just came at me, right? So I started walking in, and all of a sudden, I just wanted to throw up, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And it was weird. I was fine that whole night. My friend goes, "You must have absorbed somebody's energy, or somebody that was there. You picked up something from them, even though they didn't
Somebody,
talk."
well, here's another thing too that could have happened. Somebody that knew you might have actually threw some sort of attack at you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Somebody that was there did some attack because they knew I was going to be there.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking.
Here's something for Amanda. Yeah, okay. To try and charge them on a full or new moon, you want to do it on a full moon. Full moon is the most powerful because the full moon is wanting all the way up to, or the it's it from the new moon it's wanting to the full moon. Once it's to the full moon, it starts waxing. Therefore, it starts releasing its energy. It builds to the full, releases to the new. And at that point, when you're at a full moon, you can pull more energy from that into yourself and into your crystals.
Wow. You know what, Mark, you do got a point, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm not going to debunk what you said about
Oh,
me being an empath. I think that there was something that I must have absorbed, something there,
it could
or
be.
somebody.
It
It
could have
could have been.
been.
It could
Could
have
have been.
been. It could have been because being both an empath and then somebody probably attacked me so emotionally affected me because I was fine in the parking lot, dude. As soon as I walk in, I didn't feel any energy at first, but when I walked towards the side, just something just came over me, and I said, oh man, I felt like sick, and I had to like pace back and forth for it to come, and then it went away. I didn't feel anything after that, and then I thought in my head, I was like, it's either I picked up some energy from the people there. And then I did think I had a thought in my mind. And I didn't say anything, but I had thoughts that somebody knew I was coming. They were not here physically, but somebody threw some stuff at me because
It's a
they don't like
possibility.
me. So it could have been two things, not just one
Yeah,
thing.
it's a possibility. I've actually had people do that to me, and it was because of the woman that I was dating.
Oh wow!
She was
But
she was a she was a dark
how did your
Wiccan.
body feel? How did your body feel when that happened to you? If you don't mind me asking, what kind of
Um,
sensations?
I felt like I got punched.
Oh wow!
It felt like I got punched. So, yeah. This one here, I want to answer Amanda here on this one. I just noticed. Recommending finding. How do I recommend opening yourself to your crystal finding you? Listen. That's all you gotta do. Listen to what you feel inside. It will draw. It will call to you, and you'll be able to navigate to it.
Yeah, that's true. Now,
And
now, now
also
you.
now and then she's asking about binding spells. Careful. You got to remember, anytime you do anything in the Wicca, using Wicca, you you want to be careful what you do because when you cast spells or you bind the the spirit realm tends to send things back at you threefold.
Mm-hmm.
So if you intend harm when you do anything, that harm will come back at you threefold.
Wow. Yeah. You know what's weird now? It's making me think. It's got me thinking. I'm glad that we're on the show
I'm
because
sorry,
it
I
makes
think
me
we
think.
totally lost Joe.
No, I've
No,
been cramping up over here. My feet are in bad shape.
I'm sorry, dude.
I've
oh,
been
No,
trying
I
to.
hope you feel.
Are
I
you
hope you feel
drinking
better.
liquor over there?
am I what?
Looks like a bottle of liquor.
This?
Yeah.
It's water.
Uh huh.
He's like,
Yeah.
Uber water.
Yeah. You probably filled that bottle by now.
Uber water.
Yeah, it's probably
that's
vodka.
funny. That's funny, Joe. Because if it's vodka, it's funny because the vodka is very clear. So you'd be like, I know, Mark. He's putting it as water. It's probably vodka in it.
No, I don't drink vodka. My drink of choice is Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
So if I was drinking, you would know I was drinking.
You know what? That's funny you talk about that because when people drink, I had relatives that they could be drinking a lot, Mark, and they don't look drunk, dude. And they can still talk, they can still drive, and I'm like, other people you could see like they're all red and stuff.
Yeah, not a good thing.
Yeah, they can't. I know because I guess because their alcohol consumes more of their body, but if you can control the beer or the alcohol, then you could be as drunk as hell, and you just look sober, and you
I
could
don't
drive, and
drink.
you're just like.
He used to.
And speaking,
Joe used to
are
drink,
you?
but now he doesn't anymore.
Oh wow, I didn't know he drank. What kind of stuff did you drink, Joe?
Oh,
Before?
his drink of choice was what was it?
Jose
Tequila.
Cuervo. Yeah,
Yeah.
tequila.
Oh wow, was that strong? Was that strong stuff?
No, I don't know. It didn't bother me.
Yeah, 'cause-
Actually, I found one that was really smooth, and I had to be real careful because you know it went down like water. It didn't have like that tequila after kick or anything. And
Oh wow, so those are the ones that you would creep on you if you just didn't
no,
have
you
no
could
flavors.
sit
Cause
there
that's
and drink it like it was water because it went down so smoothly. No harsh kick or
but it,
aftertaste.
yeah, then after you get up, you're just like, ooh.
Yeah, then it bites you in the boo boo.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. And speaking of that too, I know that I probably won't see Mark and Joe until maybe next year, God willing. Um, I just want to say for everyone, thank you for supporting me and Joe and Mark as well. I want you to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Be safe. Please drink responsible if you can.
Responsibly.
Don't have to go anywhere. Don't go anywhere if you don't
Responsibly.
have. Yeah, and just have a Happy New Year. And thanks
And
for having me on. I think.
menacing
And where can they find
Christmas
you,
Yule.
Chris?
How are you just
How are
all
you?
celebrating?
Well, we're gonna make menudo. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but we're gonna have menudo.
You're gonna
Tamales. We're
send
gonna
me
have
some,
tamales.
right? You're gonna send me some, right?
What do you like? Like, do you like
Oh,
menudo or do you like tamales?
I like
What
both
kind
of
do
them.
you
You kidding me? I like
do you like?
chicken. I like chicken tamales, and I love menudo.
Oh, okay. So then, what kind of menudo? Because
After
I know.
eating that food, you can't be around Mark for about a month.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
I love.
And then we're
Dude,
even Lisa.
growing up in California, I lived on Mexican food.
Well, you know what? If I found a way for you, Mark, I would send. I don't know who would have to send it to. One of you. If I can find it to where to
That's
keep
all
it
right. That's
warm,
all right. That's all
I-
right.
I'll
That's
send you.
fine, Chris. Oh God.
I mean, you know what? If you were closer,
a fresh batch of tamales, a fresh batch of menudo, I would be
oh
in
my god, and
heaven.
yeah, and that's the thing that we're gonna have. Because I told my mom, I said, she's like, because I usually make a menu. I'm like, you know what? I want some
Mhm.
menudo. And there's some neighbors out here, except for one person, she does not like menudo. She likes the tamales,
We used to
but I
have
mean, it's just. And then we like the tortillas, the flour, because I love flour. I can't help it. But yeah, but that's what we're doing for New Year's. We're gonna have a good time, and I might drink a few just to
Yeah.
relax, and a few
Well,
fireworks. And oh my god,
eat a few for me.
you know what? Just for that, Mark, I'll send you pictures.
Okay.
that would be
That'll just
funny.
make me crave
Chris
it
get his
more.
mouth watering. He'll be drooling over the pictures for months like porn.
Oh,
Uh,
He'll be
I
drooling over
send
those
that.
pictures like porn.
uh, my
I
sister-in-law
got
used
it.
to make for Christmas and New Year. She used to make fresh tamales and menudo
Well,
and
we're running out of
enchiladas and
time.
stuff. And we'd always go over there for the dinners, and I absolutely miss it. And I miss her too. Her and my that was my older brother and his wife, and I they are both passed away as well. And
I was gonna say, I know our time's up, but before we go, if anybody ever wants a personal reading or any missing cases or just anything of the paranormal, I do walkthroughs. You can reach me at 210-974-3470. You can reach me there. Again, 210-974-3470. Or you can find me on Facebook. Just hit Mark or Joe, or just click on the page. Okay, and just find me on that, on the show, and just click and add me. And for Joe, and Mark, as always, I always have a good time with you guys. Thank you, Mark. I'll let you know about the tamales, and I will let you know about the bloodstone. So I'll
don't
send you
forget,
guys.
get yourself a bloodstone and an amethyst.
Thank you, guys. Love you, and have a happy New Year. Yep. Merry Christmas, guys.
And let's see, next Friday, we'll be back on the 29th with Les Duran. It should be an interesting show as well.
Yep.
And in an hour, 7 o'clock Central our time, I'll be on with some people from, I think it's the 13th Dimension, Jeremy's 13th Dimension. He's doing a Christmas special, so I'll be part of that in an hour.
Tell him I said hi. Joe, tell Jeremy I
Yeah,
said hi, by the way. Tell him I said hi.
yeah. Nick will be on there, Jeremy, and I'm not sure who else is going to be on there with us. So it got to be
And,
busy in
and,
the chat.
and for Mark, I'm sorry, but I'll send you pictures and I'll send it to both of you. And I don't mean to I'm just saying, I'll just send you pictures of tamales. Do you want pictures of the menudo too, or do you just want tamales?
uh,
You just,
yeah,
you're gonna be drilling.
we do have, believe it or not, we do have some here in town. We have a Mexican restaurant that uh,
Well, yeah.
I can get stuff
But
like that from,
Taco Bell?
but they don't. No, it's an authentic one, but they don't make menudo anymore.
No, there is a few that you got to search for those local mom and pop type Mexican restaurants. They'll
Yeah,
probably have
we
the
have one
best
here.
food, you
We have
know.
one here, so anyway.
So
Yeah.
always support the
All right, Chris,
local
it's great
communities and the
talking with you again,
restaurants
bud.
and businesses.
Thank you, bud. Thank you for giving me the good, beautiful guidance. And Joe, as always, thank you for giving me guidance too, because now it's making me think about just make my circle small and just do what I do and just don't let nobody take my happiness. It's
Nope,
starting from both of you.
that's the whole thing.
All right,
You
thank
got
you
to
for
hold on
coming
to it.
on.
Thank you, sir.
Stay safe. Merry
Thanks,
Christmas, everybody.
thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for watching. And
Good
we
night.
are.